Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Anyways Moving Forward with Libby, where we talk about life, self love, self work, and anything that might help you move forward in business, in your relationship, as a parent, or wherever you are in your life right now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Anyway Moving Forward. Ayan. And this is a podcast about where we talk about life, self-work, and self-love, and anything that might help you move forward in life right now. O, diba? I got that. Anyway, so in this podcast, I have decided to talk about. Actually, I don't really have any plans on recording this right now, pero kasi sayang if I don't share about this while it is still on my head, and I wanted to really help other people. I wanted to really give back as well, and how I was able to experience betrayal. So we're gonna talk about betrayal, and listen to this if you've been betrayed. So ito yung title ng podcast natin today. So the reason why I wanted to share that is because it is a very common situation that everybody goes through, and I really wanted to give value then to people who are going through the same thing, especially right now. I feel like in this moment that you're listening to this, I know that you have been betrayed, and hopefully that this conversation can help you deal with that betrayal, and sana really can help you at this moment. And one of the things that I realized as well is the reason why I am still doing what I'm doing right now is because one day when I'm gone, my kids will have this podcast and they will have an insight. So basically, this is something that I wanted to impart to my children one day, that they get to have that guidance even if I'm not around anymore or I'm too old to share all of this wisdom. But I doubt. I feel like I'm still gonna share this. Whatever year that is, I just want to tell my children that Mama is doing this as well, because I wanted to record all of these things habang kaya ko pa, and I still have the words and the wisdom. So let's listen to this if you've been betrayed. And I know that a lot of us have been betrayed in certain periods in our lives. And this is something that I have experienced so many times in my life, whether it's in relationships, in friendships, in people that have been close to me, and in the end, they're not there. And I wanted to give you a context of what happens with that and how you can actually deal with it so that you'd be more equipped. And that's the purpose. And you can move forward in life. That's the purpose of this podcast. First of all, I just want to let you know that nothing is wrong with you. If you've been betrayed, if something has been done to you that wasn't in accordance to your plan or how you would expect people to treat you, I just want to say that nothing is wrong with you. Most often, when people get betrayed, they feel like they have done something with a person, but if you know in your heart that you haven't stepped on anyone, and you are stepping into your integrity of what is true for you, then it is not your responsibility, or it is not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you if somebody betrayed you. Okay? I just want to acknowledge the kindness that you have in your heart right now, because I know that you've loved so much, you've given so much. Because of that, you didn't see it coming that you were gonna be betrayed. Pero nothing is wrong with you, and I hope and pray that you don't change just because that happened to you. I pray and I invite you to really transmute that energy of not feeling like you're not enough to I've given you something more, and you didn't use that energy that I gave you wisely and turn it against me. And sana it won't make you turn back to the person that you are right now. Just lessons learned. And we're really going to transmute that experience right now so that you can move forward in anywhere in your life. So I've written here in my notes that nothing is wrong with you. You just loved and trusted so much that what others do is on them and it's not on you. And I want you to realize that just because it happened, it's really a projection of their character. So when you're going through this experience, I know that it's going to be challenging, but I also want you to know that we get to purge people, and it is a blessing when these people who are not ready to meet us at the level of where we are at, we need to let them go in order for us to go back to ourselves. Because if we keep on adjusting ourselves for other people
just to please them and just to make sure that they are aligned with us. You have to take an inventory whether this is the kind of relationship that you want to be in. Because if you're the one adjusting for the relationship just to be liked, then I don't think you're in the right relationship. Because if you are in the right relationship, you wouldn't need to become someone else in order to be accepted. Because relationships for me are celebrating one another while being in union in that entity we call relationship. And if these union isn't worked on, if these union isn't nurtured, then it's gonna not go anywhere. There will be betrayal. So I just hope that the relationships that you have right now are the ones that are reciprocating the energy that you give out there. And for the people who have betrayed you, then let them. I really learned along the way to let them, because it's not a you character, it's a them character. And I also want you to see what's on the other side as well. So hopefully I can wing this off in a couple of minutes now. So anyhow, as what I mentioned, when you feel betrayal, the emotion of in denial, anger, questioning yourself is all normal. And I just really encourage you to sit down with that emotion, because that emotion will propel you towards your next step. The feelings that we have are compasses. I just know that emotions are compasses. It tells us something, and each feeling should be something that you should check into and ask the feeling, what are you trying to teach me? There are only two types of questions that I ask myself whenever I feel stuck in life. It's, what are you trying to teach me? And what is the gift in this situation? Whenever I am faced with a lot of experiences that releases or gives me an emotion, I always check in with the emotion. What are you trying to teach me? And in betrayal, there is hurt, there is anger. All of these are experiences that we need to feel in order for us to accept what it is and to release it. Because once you've accepted and transmuted that emotion, once you've accepted that it is what it always is, healing happens. And still, healing for me is acceptance, and it's going to be a continuous process. And though you've already accepted the fact that it is what it is, it's done, and now we get to move forward. Because without awareness, you will be living blindly on this earth. And that's the gift of identifying the emotion. It's an emotional intelligence that I hope that everybody has. If you don't work on your emotional intelligence, you will be a constant victim of life and circumstances, because you don't know how to deal with those circumstances. Because when life or experiences happen to you, emotions come in, it's either you spiral down, or you always in hyper, you're always in very volatile, you're always in attack mode, you always feel like somebody's gonna come and get you. So if you continuously operate in this sense of like you're always going to be in that high state, you're going to burn out. You'll always have this chronic anxiety, because you just feel that you can't be okay, somebody's coming to get you. And so this is also where self-work comes in. You have to learn how to regulate yourself in moments where your emotions are shaky and emotions are triggering you. If you learn how to master yourself by mastering your emotions, in any life situation, you're going to continuously win. And though we were really not given that knowledge, because once we know that, society is still business, and they really want us to depend on what they're giving, because without us depending, we are unstoppable. And that's exactly what I'm feeling right now with where I am at in my life, because I have already identified how it is to live life. Like I knew already in this level of awareness, and which is true for me in this level, and I know I'll continuously grow, that everything that is happening in my life is for me and not towards me. And before, I never really got that concept until I started experiencing it and stayed in this lane of being okay with being in silence with myself and sitting down in silence. Because now for me, silence is a gift. Having that silent time with myself is really allowing me to experience life, because the more silent everything is around you, the more that you can tune within. And one thing that I know to be true is that little you, or that voice inside of you, will never ever put you in any situation where you get to be endangered or you don't feel safe in that space. It's just that not everybody knows how to sit in their silence, because the thought alone of sitting in silence and thinking about their thoughts are already scaring them. And that's the thing. If you just know how to remove all the thoughts that aren't even yours, because these thoughts are just installed by somebody and you just said yes, it's most often projections that you said yes to. If you just know how to sit down with the silence, I know that you're going to skyrocket in life. But you unlock the gift of self mastery, when you unlock the gift of knowing how to deal with emotions and transmuting it into something more beautiful that is more beneficial for you in this lifetime, you're really going to maximize this life that you've been given right now. Because one thing, and one thing that I know to be true, is that the only thing that we have right now is the time that we have at this moment, the moment that you're listening right now. And if you're not utilizing it wisely, and time is a finite resource, and along with time is energy, if you're not going to utilize it wisely and intentionally, you're going to run out of time, you're going to run out of energy, realizing that how you give it out there, you've just really taken it for granted. You're not even thinking, you're not even very mindful of where you spend it. In this life, like, you have to be very careful with where you spend your energy towards, because your energy is only limited with your day, with what we are limited to. And so I hope that you really give honor to your energy and where you spend it too, because one thing I know to be true is what you give energy into, it comes to life. And if you've been spending it on things that aren't even here, like thinking about what if it doesn't work? What if I just spend another time with this person and it's not reciprocated back? It's going to be resentment that's gonna be built on you. So going back to the topic, if you've been betrayed, just really honor the emotions that come with betrayal. And oftentimes it's anger, it's sadness. Do not judge the emotion, it's there for a reason, and really excavate what that emotion is teaching you, because unless you learn how to excavate and to transmute that energy, you will keep on carrying that baggage until you learn it through time, through experiences. And so whenever you have experienced that through the pain, what it's teaching you, learn from the experience and integrate whatever it wants you to know through action, through being really intentional with your action. The next thing, steps. Is it self-love? Is it blocking these people? So one thing I also learned about betrayal is that it's just uncommunicated experiences that hasn't been shared because of the fear of losing other people. And it's such a scarce mindset that if you can't detect it, you'll really feel that betrayal, because it wouldn't get to betrayal if you already know how to say no to things and have that very strong boundary of what's right and wrong for you. So most often betrayal comes from uncommunicated experiences because of the fear of losing one another. Betrayal really happens, for me, if you don't have that boundary as well. If you know that it is already a red flag and you still keep pushing towards the relationship, you know that it's no longer working. Somewhere, somehow, the universe will provide, and it's given. Like, I've seen it so many times that betrayal happens because of the lack of communication. And because of that, you're also part of the problem, because of the lack of not being able to say what you really felt, because you also want to people please that other person. So it's a very toxic cycle that everybody has to go through. And it's really the uncommunicated experiences because of the fear, and so many more factors. And I can speak more of that, but it's a long process. But I hope that really helped you. Betrayal happens for us because, again, there's so many factors, but what's on my head is that along this lifetime that we're experiencing, there needs to be a yin to the yang, because without the yin, without the contrast, you won't be really able to experience the fullness of life, all the emotions that it encompasses. So one cannot exist really with the other, and it's just really how we respond toward life circumstances that allows us to really fully live in this moment. And I hope that you have that emotional intelligence of dealing through life, because without it, you'll be living in survival and you'll be living like a zombie and just living for the sake of living. The beauty of life is allowing yourself to experience life through expression of self and being able to express and receive energies and transmute it into your language and turn it into an art. If you learn how to master letting go of expression and receiving different energy and expression and transmuting that and returning it to the world beautifully, then you start living life. And it also starts with not denying the emotions that have been given to you, because emotions are gift. And it's up to you how you transmute it in your reality. For many years, we have been sold and told that we can't do or transmute our emotions in our own. You have to rely on something, buy these things to feel this or to feel relevant. Like, it's never an outward in, because if you operate in outward in to find your validation, it's a never ending process. But if you work from inward out, the outside world is just going to be a reflection of what's happening inside. So I really do hope and I encourage you to really find the courage to be disliked, especially when the circle that you are in doesn't resonate with you anymore. Or if you know in your heart that the life that you're living right now is not the life that you want, and you feel really contracted with your environment, the people around you, with your relationship, have the courage to step back and to go back to yourself and to what you really is true for you. Because what is true for you and your intuition will never lie. No matter how many times you reject or you neglect the intuition, this intuition will always keep going until you listen to it. And yun nga, if you don't decide, life will decide for you. And most often, it has a certain level of pain for us to experience in order for us to wake up and to see the contrast of where you're supposed to go. And it's depending na lang on the level of surrender that you have. So if you're gonna be stubborn and continue this path wherein you feel like you're chasing, you're constantly looking for approval, for validation from other people, and that's also a red flag. If you're wanting to get a response from people just because you did something, then you have to probably also check in with yourself, because it's also a trauma response, doing it for the sake of receiving an approval, receiving a thank you. So if you do it with all your heart without asking for anything in return, because you're giving out of overflow. You're not giving because you want to receive. It's scarce. It's a scarcity mindset. And I just really truly hope that you get out of that mindset for you to be able to fully live life the way that you want to, the way that is for you, because I really believe that our birthright is abundance. And if you're not living in abundance, and abundance means expansive, you're not even talking about other people, you're talking about the possibility of what you can create. If you are vibrating in the frequency of creation, then you're living in abundance, because abundance is creation. But if you are in this state of it's never enough, we have to do this in order for us to have this certain amount of money to feel validated, or it's never enough. It's a never ending process, and I've seen it so many times and experienced it so many times with so many people, that at the end of the day, it's really just really having that stillness within yourself that really matters. Because if you know how to connect with yourself in your lifetime, you're gonna win. Because even if you take everything away from you, when you enjoy your own company, your own voices, the things that are happening in your inside world, you then tap into the abundance. You then tap into living. Because when you tap into who you truly are, you start expressing yourself in the fullness of it, just like a child. And that's what I really wanted to everyone to experience. Having that childlike curiosity, having that childlike wonder, because it's so good when you live life. And I feel and I know that the secret to living life is the full expression of self, and being able to traverse through this lifetime, transmuting all the energies that we receive and turning it into the expression of self that is art, and just accepting everything as it is. And if you master that, you master life, and you'll never feel that fear is going to stop you towards your next steps. And you're going to live life to its fullest, present, happy, the most abundant you can be, very magnetic, very aligned. So, ayun, going back to the topic, if you've been betrayed, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Let people choose what they want to choose. But please don't be dragged down with their dramas and the thought of you not being worthy or you haven't done enough, because you have. Don't let the darkness of other people affect your light, because there's too many people who are in the dark right now and somebody has to stand up in their light. And remember that at the end of the day, you got you and your responsibility is you. And bring that light everywhere. Because even if you have to do things on your own, one day you're gonna meet the right people that are for you. Let the people who betray you leave, let them go, so that you can give space for the right people that are for you. And again, the world belongs to those who are brave and courageous, and that includes journeying through life on their own and being okay with that, because they just know that even if everybody else is gone, our best companion is with ourselves, and the thoughts and the ideas and the possibility of what else we can create, and everything else is just a bonus. So yeah, I hope that you have the courage to just let go. I know that you have the courage to let go of those people that has betrayed you. Don't welcome them anymore in your life in this chapter, and maybe one day they will come back, but at this chapter of your life, you just really have to honor this journey of becoming and in this page. Because if you still keep connecting to those people, entertaining their thoughts, repeating the same story over and over and over again, you're just still going to be a part of the problem. So you can't complain over the chaos that you keep on choosing. Everyone that has betrayed us, they're here for a reason. Maybe we don't know about boundaries, or we haven't really listened to our intuition. Everybody has their gift. And you also have a choice whether you want to keep on giving them that space and talk about them all the time. Because I have also decided that for everyone who has betrayed me, I send them love, and at the same time never mention their name again and never let them in my stream of consciousness, not allowing them to penetrate the bubble that I am in. And that's my personal choice, nothing personal. It's just me. So yeah, I hope that really helps, and if it did, please let me know. Send me a message through Instagram so I know that anyone is listening to my podcast. And yeah, I just continue filming anywhere when I feel like I have the idea again. And I am in a very good space right now. I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm in a new condo here in Manila, 8 months in, and God has blessed me with so much. Just really making sure that I make the most out of it. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. I'm really happy with where I am, and I just really wanted to share that energy to everybody. And you know what? I love you, and keep going. Alam mo naman that there's so many more things that are for you. It's just a hump on the road, and have the courage to cross the other side. Have the courage to go to the uncertainty, because in the uncertainty, it's where you create. In the uncertainty, there are no expectations. In the uncertainty, what you create right now is going to be your reality. There's nothing to fear because it's already uncertain. It's already what it is. So I really encourage you to go on the other side and just let go of thinking about what other people think, because in the long run, you're not going to contribute to the journey anyway. It's our own personal journey. So that's it. I love you guys. Please rate me 5 stars. Share it to your friends, whatever it is. And quote me, whatever. Pero I'm just here. And if you're ready for one-on-one mentorship, I'm open all time. Retreats and workshops and trainings as well. Family gatherings, company events. I'm right here with you. So again, thank you so much. And thank you for being here. I love you. Bye.